Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the Judgment card. Big changes are afoot for you this week, my dear Librans, right? Whenever this card comes up, it's kind of like a grand clearing of the decks, right? If the World card is where you master something and you ascend, the Judgment card is where you have to literally take stock of everything, right? Where you literally clear the decks so that you can make the final step. This is a week of wrapping things up. It's a week of tying up loose ends for you. It's also a week where you're going to make a final call on something, the final judgment call in a sense, right? So this could be some personal, form of action that you feel really called upon to do. It could just as easily represent a moment where you tie the end off of something and say, right, it's time to move beyond this, to let go of this, to release this, or to go in the new direction that I feel like I'm being pulled. This is a week where some of you could have messages from ancestors. This is a week where you could be getting messages from, through, or in the spirit world. It wouldn't surprise me as well, because there's an element of the blast from the past with this card, where something tends to come up so that we can assimilate the lesson from it. All right, use this week accordingly. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, wow, you got the Judgment card, right? So we got a double hit of Judgment energy. Yours is the first sign of the week so far that's had the same card come up twice. Now, if you saw last week, there were a lot of crazy synchronicities that came up. If you saw the week before, there were a lot of crazy synchronicities that came up. Yours is the only one this week that has had the double hit of the same card. And because it is the Judgment card, this is something that is consciously being led by you. Yes, things are going to be culminating and completing. Yes, this is going to be you tying up loose ends, but this is you walking a new path by choice. This is you working in alignment, in balance, right? You are a Libra after all. This is you working in balance with the universe to say, this is the path that you've ordained for me, and I agree that that is the right space. That's the right place. This is the right way for me to move forward. This looks like a grand culmination or a completion or an ending for a lot of you, and I kind of feel like this is one that is consciously led, certainly at a deeper and a more soul kind of level. For your communications and conversations, you've got that Ace of Cups. So in literally like this week, you are speaking from the heart. You are speaking from the heart. You're speaking your truth. You're speaking your honesty. And this week, I kind of feel like it's almost like a lot of you are probing in your questions this week, right? Usually Libra's about finding the balance point. Where is everything, where does everything meet in the middle? Whereas this week, I feel like it's very much about uncovering what is at the heart of or the bottom of a matter. And that Ace of Cups suggests that you are doing this from a space of love, right? You know, everybody says like, oh, you know, I know they're doing it from a place of love, but they're ruining everything. It's not that. Like this week, it's that tough love, you know, and even if this is you calling yourself out on something, I feel like there's an element of love in this, but you are being very open, very honest, but also very probing. Like Libra's acting a bit more like a Scorpio this week. So very, very interesting. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could literally be a new job. It could literally be new work, but it's new work that you love. It's new projects that you love. It's new realizations about the organization or the people that you work with that are, you know, things that are making the heart happy. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, or people that work for themselves, there's a really strong sense here that you are getting to the heart of what you truly believe, your calling, your purpose, your yeah, like your like what you feel like you're supposed to be doing basically is really starting to reveal itself. And it looks like over the course of the next week you are really going to start moving in that direction. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, I feel like this is you ripping the band-aid off this week. I feel like this is you having the hard conversations, putting things in place, maybe taking care of a will, maybe, maybe doing, not from like a morbid place of, oh, I'm retired, so now I need to, to have a look at all this stuff. It's more a case of, I want to make sure that whatever legacy I leave, it's one that that lets my family know that I love them. It lets my people know that I'd taken care of all of this so they didn't have to at a time that's already going to be difficult for them. If you're not working but still of working age, this could literally be an uncovering or a discovering of jobs or work that you truly feel aligned to. For your love and relations, you've got the Devil card, you've got this with the Judgment card, and I gotta say, for those of you that are single, it may very well be that you're reconnecting with someone this week, and for some of you, you might be tempted to walk down memory lane. You might be tempted to get in touch with an ex. You might be tempted to reach out. I'm going to be honest with you, with the Devil card in the love and relations sector, the double hit, the Judgment card suggests it's you doing the reaching out. That Devil card is basically a steer clear. All right, it's up to you what you do. It's completely your choice. You don't have to take my word for it. But if I'm honest, you may either get more than you bargained for, or you might end up being locked into something with someone from your past when you're just about ready to graduate at this point. It's like going back to, the first semester of the first year. Do you really want to do that? I'm asking you that question this week, right? When it comes to love, relationships, for those of you that are single and thinking about reconnecting with someone from your past, I gotta say no, all right? I don't like it. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, you and your partner are unable to see eye to eye on something this week, but you're coming from a place of love, and maybe it's your partner that's digging their heels in. If you're coming from that space of love, maybe it's wise for you to ask, why are you digging your heels in? Why do you not want to budge on this? There's likely to be something that you're not seeing or something that you're missing. Open up a dialogue this week. That's what you guys do best. For your money and materials, you've got the Queen of Wands, right? So potentially a Sagittarius woman will feature for you this week. Not guaranteed, but potential. With that being said, when it comes to your money, your finances, and your resources, you might be having to set a firm but polite boundary when it comes to money. Maybe this is with a friend who conveniently never has their wallet when you go out to eat or when you go out for drinks. Maybe if you have any children, this might be the moment at which you have to say, you know what, babe, I can't finance you anymore. It's time that you start looking for work. This could also be as well, because you've got the Judgment card, maybe some service that you've been paying for a while, that happens to be through a friend, maybe something that you're getting through a friend that you're paying for, that you're like, actually, you know what, it's time for me to end this now. There could be some challenging conversations around finances this week, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, right? Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Queen of Wands is very sensual, it's very passionate, it's very sexual. With this mix of cards, I would just say, if this is not a week for one night stands, just be careful with anything like that as well. If you choose to go down that route because you've got a no, I was going to say because you've got an itch that needs to be scratched, but with this mix of cards, we don't like that phrase. So this week, if you are needing to enjoy yourself with extracurricular adult activities, make sure you are well protected. When it comes to, especially if it's a one night stand or anything of that kind of nature, really look after yourself this week. When it comes to your home and environment, This would be a week to check your locks, check your doors, check the boundaries of your property. This would be a really good week to check how secure your home actually is. Check the boundaries of your home as well, right? Anything that plays a role in keeping you safe from the elements or keeping intruders out or your stuff safe will need to be looked at this week, all right? Especially with that double hit of the Judgment card here. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.